Request everyone to kindly be seated. We will now like to begin with our special session. A very warm welcome to our eminent dignitaries. It is my pleasure to welcome on stage our esteemed guest for this session, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. We are also pleased to have with us today Mr. Vivek Singh, Senior Vice President, Sportscom, Mr. Jalaj Dani, President, Sportscom, who has joined us virtually, and Mr. Neeraj Jain, Whole-Time Director, Costco India Limited. Can we have a huge round of applause for our distinguished guests, please? Now may I please request Mr. Singh to felicitate Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Thank you. Without further ado, we would now like to proceed with the session. May I request Mr. Jalaj Dani to say a few words, please?
Good afternoon, Rakesh Kumar Singh ji. I extend a very warm welcome to you. Because of personal reasons, I'm not able to leave Mumbai just now. Dear friends, when I met R.K. Singh ji first time 2 months ago, readily he agreed to our invitation to come to this Sportscom meeting. Besides the other things that Vivek will talk about, Mr. Singh, he's an ardent sportsman himself, and we were discussing about the quality of rackets available in India and other things. So we have in us a champion who understands what it takes to make things available for Indian athletes to succeed on the global stage. Once again, sir, on behalf of Sportscom, I extend a warm welcome. I hand over to my colleague, please. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted, like our President Shri Jalaj Dani said, to welcome our honored guest, Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh ji, Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. R.K. Singh ji is an IAS officer of the 1989 batch from the Kerala cadre. He has assumed the charge of Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry on 24th of April this year. He has held many important positions in the Union government as well as the state government, especially as Secretary Urban Development and lately as Finance Secretary, Government of Kerala. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us today. As you may know, Sportscom is a not-for-profit body involved in the advocacy of various sectors of the sporting ecosystem of India, whether it be the services sector, whether it be the infrastructure sector, or whether it be the manufacturing sector. And we have got together, sir, this is our 5th annual general body meeting, and the first one actually in person because we were incubated during the lockdown period and we could not meet as often as we would have liked to in person. And we have some leading lights with us here, sir. Mukul ji is here, Mukul Verma, Managing Director, Savi International. Neeraj Jain ji is here from Costco. These are leading lights. I would request them to share a few issues with you, sir. Take your inputs. Then we would request the members here to ask you some. We'd like to conclude with your final remarks as the conclusion, sir, if that's okay with you. So now I would hand it over to Neeraj ji to take this forward. Neeraj ji, you can do it from here or wherever you are comfortable.
Thank you, Vivek Singh ji. And first of all, we'd like to welcome Rakesh Kumar Singh ji. And it's an honor to have you here, and we as manufacturers here and the various bodies here can express our ideas and take suggestion advices from you that how we can bring this industry go up and increase our space, increase our scale, and make a name for the sporting industry all over the globe. That's what our aspiration is, and that's what we stand here for. And we prepared a small bird's eye view of what this industry is right now. It's a very small industry, and what we are talking about here is just sporting goods and equipment manufacture. We are not considering sports shoes and apparels in this. So the market size is around 5,000 plus crores. Import-wise and export-wise, you see the imports are slightly higher by about 500 crores over the exports in the year 22-23. Basically, we're talking of Chapter 9506, which basically encompasses the articles and equipments of general exercise and outdoor equipments. And you can see that over the year, sometime over a period of 2010 to 2023, there has been an increase, though those increase should be much higher. But the import seems to be much higher in that. And the biggest thing in that is about the fitness equipments, what keep on coming into the country and are being exported as well. But we just represent 0.46% of the total global share, which is our first goal, that we just aim for about 1% or 2%, and to begin with, and our work can be done. And that is by far, it's not a very big task. It can be done by small actions that we take here and there. Can we look at the next slide, please? So we'll just listed out a few challenges in front of us which are common to most of the sectors. It's basically about the availability and scale of the raw material intermediaries. They're not available, and of course the prices go higher. The second biggest problem is that this is a smaller sector, so the adoption of technology and money is being invested by the players is not all that big. And then we have a lack of product certification, due to which, of course, there are higher costs, and that's why many of the manufacturers don't want to go in for that. The other structural voids that we see is that there are higher import duties in some of the raw materials, like the PU, which is widely used in manufacturing of the sporting equipment, especially the balls, and for the protective equipments like the gloves, and for boxing, PU is highly regarded, and that's something which we find is taxed at a much higher rate. Then, of course, the setup cost of a factory, the land prices, and the other things are quite expensive, and so are the power costs when we compare it with China or with other places which have a benefit in those. And for us, when we talk of the sports industry, when India was together, I think it was Sialkot which was making more of the balls and championing the sports in that. And after the partition, that industry just came on to Jalandhar and Meerut. And those are the places where you find the expertise and the skill around that area. But with time, what's happening, the cost parameter is going up for the labor, and it is a labor-intensive industry for the sporting good, and that's what we are looking at. How can we mechanize and get over this issue? The other small problem we have is the differential GST rates for the same item. When we play it as a sport, it's charged at 12%, but when we are not playing it as a sport, it is charged at about 18%. Something like a dumbbell, or you are picking up the weighing lifting rods. So those are at 12%, but the other associated things go at 18%. So it becomes a little confusing, although they are under the same HSN code, which is 9506. But why? And the whole idea of GST was to have just one tax and one thing, so that it simplifies the work of a lot of people. and that was, I think we are looking forward that we can get some help on that area. And of course, we also need the government help that when they ascribe to things that they want good products to be purchased in their tenders or any place, that they should have this thing that it should be made in India or through a brand in India, or even if it's an imported brand, it should be qualified that those products are made in India, because we are making those products, fortunately, unfortunately, putting an OEM brand and exporting it. We have the World Cup rugby ball made right here from our Jalandhar premises by Mukul here. He does a great job with that, not doing for this year, but so many 20 years probably they've been doing that. And we see that we cannot probably give those products in the tender here because those products are coming from the other brand. But definitely, even if they want to choose that, it should be done that those products are made in India. So this is something which we wanted. Next, please. And these are the small things that we have proposed some solutions on, and how will they impact. So we've just worked out that this is what the industry thinks. This is the input from all the manufacturers, what we've taken together. So we needed some incentives. We've seen that from the prior regime, the incentives for exports have come down under the rod tap scheme. So we are unable to compete with a lot of the other competing countries in the export space. Earlier we were having about 7% or around 5 to 7% was drawbacks or what we used to get, but under the new regime it's just about limiting to a percent or 1.5% or 2%. So those we are correlating more data. This is a very unorganized sector what we have. So we are trying to collate more data so that we can have better road tap rates for the future. But we are fighting against someone who is giving 13% or 12% as refund. Most of China does that. Pakistan also does that, but in a very discreet and different format. They sponsor the people, their shows, and many things. Then we look at how to rationalize the import content things, those raw materials that we use. If they can we can get some way that those duties can be lowered down for. Basically, the whole idea is that we get cheap, we'll manufacture. There's a lot of competition. The whole scale of the game goes up. Once the usage becomes bigger, obviously the prices will come down. It's a market-oriented theory. Everyone knows that. You have mobile phones coming in, and you see the tariff falling down when you have so many people who just want to get the market share. So the same would apply here also, that let's increase the size, let's make it more affordable, let the sportsmen have the best quality products for the price what they have, what they can pay. And we will surely see that competition coming down. So I think lowering tariffs would be something which would benefit us for sure. Then we have the investments what are made. I think if you could get some benefits in terms of subventions, in terms of some states are doing under the new policy, they are encouraging the manufacturing in their states, and they're offering incentives. So if those could be streamlined and better, can be associated with GST also, so that would also benefit us. And then we have the other two schemes which you can see, the DFIS schemes and the other advanced authority schemes, that those period extensions can be there so that it becomes more flexi for all the exporters. So with all these small measures which we can do, I think we are looking at 100% increase of our exports at least that we are just making right now. It's been very encouraging, sir. China plus one policy, and I mean, not good to say, but our neighbors also are quite unstable. For our sporting good industry, it's worked out well for us, and we have better and much better, more brands walking into India who want to have them buy from India, and I think that image is it is going up, the quality levels are going up, we are making better products for those markets. So the second biggest thing what we've been after is that the international certification costs are very high. A company like me can afford, a few of the companies can afford, but what is happening is that we want more and more companies to get these certifications. What happens is that once the certification level goes up, the quality level of the country and the perception per se of that country changes. And this expense is not much. What we are saying is that please, we should have a subvention for these costs of the international certifications. And if that's done, many companies will start sourcing out of India. And that's the whole thing. If example I'll just try to give, so that Pakistan or China have about 20 FIFA approvals, vis-a-vis India say about 5. So obviously everyone who wants to buy a product which is a FIFA approved ball, they would go into those competing countries because those levels, their perception is much higher. Even if they would want to buy a promotion product, still they would be getting a bigger share. So if that is done, I think we can really do well. Skill levels are not a problem, and we are working with all these people to increase our skill levels also. And then we, by just this this positioning, I think we can increase our exports and our total revenues all by almost 100%. This is something which we really believe it should be done, and we seek your active support on this. Then the third thing is developing the integrated manufacturing hubs. So we have 2 hubs which are Jalandhar and Meerut. We are getting some traction from the government there in Punjab also, and the UP government, and they are individually looking at it. But we would see that like we have had a toy park or something, that those things can be developed and some land can be got so that we can have bigger sizes of land, and we can ask for joint ventures to come in to India and see that we just jumpstart the whole process and we get ready markets for the products that we are manufacturing. So I think these are the few points which we, if we take care of, then we can have a lot of FDI also coming into this sector, and this will become a much bigger sector. And this is basically what the bird's eye view of the position what we have right now in the industry. Thank you. And I welcome Mukulji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Neeraj Bhaiya, for your wonderful thoughts. Singh sir, thank you so much for coming, sir, sparing your valuable time. Sir, as Mr. Jain has already described in very limited words what the industry needs, sir. So I'd just like to add that the scope and the sky is unlimited, sir, for this sector, sir. So there's huge potential, sir. And sir, pan-India, I believe, sir, there are approximately 500,000 people which are involved directly and indirectly, sir, in this sector. Comparing the level of exports, sir, which is approximately 1,500 crores or 2,000, whatever it is, sir, and 500,000 people is a big number against that, sir. Sir, if we are able to get more buyers buying from India, that is the bottom line, sir. I mean, every business needs buyers, sir, to work, sir. Whether it's the own brand or we are OEMs to the world top brand, sir. If we have buyers, sir, there's no dearth of work, sir. We can give more employment, sir, to everybody who's keen to work with us, sir. And also, sir, we can put up bigger plants, sir. So, of course, we need support from the government, sir. I mean, our biggest teacher in the world is, sir, our buyer, sir. When we go to our buyer, sir, he'll tell me, okay, Mukul, I'm buying 50 products from China, I buy 5 from India, and I buy 25 from Pakistan, sir. So that is the thing which hits us most, sir. Sir, if Pakistan can supply 25 products and China can supply 50, sir, at least I should be able to develop 10 or 15 or 20, sir, equivalent to that, sir. We can work, sir, in our own means, which are very limited, sir. But sometimes the ecosystem needs to also revisit the policies and the rules which have been made, sir, whether they're benefiting the industry or still they need some improvement, sir. Sir, with these few things which have been highlighted in the slide, sir, there's much more work can be done, sir. And sir, we definitely need industry status for sports sector, sir. So this is very important. And one small thing, sir. So the government of India gave, you remember, sir, in 1990, the government of India put a lot of focus on the textile sector, sir. So I think till date, the government has shelled out approximately 17,000 crore rupees in terms of various incentives and subsidies, or you may call it 8 tufts or something like that, sir, for textiles, sir. And they are the second largest employment generator in the country, sir, right now, sir. So approximately 4.5 million people work in that sector, sir. Sir, if government tags few of those benefits to us, sir, sir, I can assure you, I can guarantee you, sir, as Mr. Jain has said, 100% jump is guaranteed, sir. Down the line, 10 years, it may be 3x or 4x, sir, from the support of the government, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mukulji. Shiv Naresh is also here, represented by Shivji himself. If there are any questions, any of our members can ask Shivji, would you like to, is there anything on your mind? A mic can be given to.
Thank you. Thank you giving me this opportunity. First of all, whatever has been said by Agarwalji and Neerajji and Vermaji, this is definitely government is going to look after. Otherwise, we cannot cross China. I think in next 10 years we must cross the China, whatever China is making, because in some of the field we can see that there are companies who has beaten in some industries to China, like tiles industries and so many other industries. India has already beaten. Me from garment size field, I can assure you that we are going to beat all these Chinese companies very soon, because a lot of plants has come here, yarns are available. I think we are less dependent on the import right now. And the only thing is that the kind of government what is doing for the sports is also encouraging, but private participation is must, as we have already discussed in the previous panel. And I'm quite confident the kind of our Indian population is growing. India itself is a very big market. And once we are having a lot of competition, a lot of companies are manufacturing, then definitely we are going to catch the world also in a very big way. So I hope we are going in a good direction, and our platform is already doing a wonderful job. And very soon we'll see the results. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, whether from members present here or from those joining us online today? Happy to take it. Secretary is here. Yeah. Yes, Prasanna, please.
Good afternoon. Sir, I am Prasanna Chowdhury, Managing Director, Nutra Supplements. We represent the industry from, nutraceuticals. Just to brief in figures, nutraceutical business currently in India is around 55,000 crores. Out of that, around 5,000 crores is only for sports nutrition, sports supplements. India has become a dumping ground for even for the foreign countries. Doping has been a very critical element as far as supplements are concerned. Of course, the session earlier, the sports ministry is taking a lot of steps. FSSI is involved into this. But still, because of the import regulations for supplements, they are still not stringent. In India, we need to have FSDU compulsory. We need to have third-party testing of supplements. But the supplements which are being imported are not being, providing such kind of certifications. The same brands which being manufactured in US has a different quality standard when they supply to India. Because our industry, they think that it's a price-driven market. We need to keep our prices low, and people want the results overnight. So a lot of addition of steroid stimulants are being done. And and this is affecting our sporting athletes. Unfortunately, India is number 3 in dope violation, and in 99% the issue is because of the supplements. Supplements that are manufactured in India is one area, but the major contributor is also the imported supplements which are coming to India, which I think there is an acute need to target this sector. Also, there is a need to promote Make in India. When we have the supplements Make in India, which are best in all the areas, certified and other things. So the rule or regulation, the support from industry and the ministry needs to be there to have make in India products first, or at least the percentage needs to be decided. In India, there are, so many national federations are there. They have the norms from Sports Authority of India, where they have, all the rules and regulations are in place, but the implementation is something that we are lagging. So our sincere request from the nutrition or the sports nutrition manufacturing sector is to help and guide us to have these regulations in place, and then Make in India should be initiated in all the sectors as far as sports is concerned. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prasanna. Any other questions for Secretary, sir? Any of our friends joining us online have any questions before I request Secretary, sir, Secretary R.K. Singh to say his few words? Please.
Sir, just want to add one small thing I forgot when I was on dais, sir. Sir, the government of India, when it began the Make in India initiative, sir, I think it was in the month of September 2014, sir, around that time, sir. Sir, I think Make in India 2.0 was, it came to picture, sir, I think 2 years back, sir, maybe. So government has got some specific sectors which they always, give some sort of preferential treatment, sir, if it's not, in the right way to say. So government has put a lot of focus on textiles, sir, and also leather, sir, and wellness, and shoes, and footwear. So there's a list of 14 sectors, sir, in India, which is called the champion sector, sir. And 11 there are in the services, sir. So it's 25, I think it's made by DPIIT, sir, if I'm not wrong, sir, that list?
We coordinate this
scheme. PL, yes, sir. So,
they are done by the respective departments.
Sure, sir. Yeah, sure, sir. So our humble submission, sir. So can we have sports sector added to that list, sir? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
I would now request Rajesh Kumar Singh ji to please share his thoughts, his words with us.
Colleagues on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it gives me great pleasure to join you here today. The sports industry is fairly close to my heart because it is, I do play a lot of different recreational sports from childhood. And it's always bothered me that we don't have enough global champions in this country, making both for India and abroad the best of goods. The points made by the various industry leaders here, I've noted down some of them, and I'm going to respond to some of them to the extent I can. But at the start, let me say that, before I start talking about specifics, I wanted to say at a broader, representative of DPIIT that India is in a very good spot right now when it comes to its macroeconomic numbers, in terms of its stability and decisiveness of its political leadership, as well as the fact that we now have, we are not only the world's most populated country, we also have the youngest, with a median age of just 28 years. That combined with the huge impetus to infrastructure being given by the current government has ensured, in my view, that we will have sustained 7 to 8 or even higher growth rates in the coming decades. We are going to see huge increases in the size of our middle class, and that will ensure that demand for all types of consumer goods, including sports goods, will keep increasing. And in the aftermath of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, there is already a tremendous interest and increase in people's focus on sports, whether it is taking up bicycling as a recreational sports or in various other types of sports. There is a genuine attention, and the growth potential of this sector is underscored by the success of events like the Indian Premier League. So it's not just cricket, and there are also examples like the Indian Kabaddi League and others, where you can see that we can leverage our vast market to really expand our domestic industry while also producing for export. And obviously, the sky is the limit because, as was shown in one of our presentations, we not only have a huge domestic market that I alluded to just now, we also have only 0.4%, I think, of the international trade. So obviously, in both areas, the sky is the limit, really. The problem with this industry, I think, is that in India, we tend to, our ability to promote specific industry often boils down to whether there is a champion in government for that industry. Now, sports is one of those industries which is kind of falling in between different stools. It is not, there is no, even though sports department looks after sports, it looks after the promotional aspect. Sports as an industry is a subject that has not been specifically allocated to them. Although we've tried to agree that the sports department should also have the subject of promotion of the Indian sports industry as part of its what we call the allocation of business rules. That is stuck, and as a result, you are in a kind of a residual list which is to be looked after by DPIIT along with all the other industries. I do feel that this is a sector which has perhaps been neglected in terms of focused government attention, and there is a strong economic case as well, and as well as an employment case and an export case for developing, promoting, and incentivizing this industry more than we have done so far. Coming to the specifics of some of the issues that were raised today, high import duties on some of the intermediate and input materials. Some of these issues are relatively lower hanging fruits. We can work on that. That particular slide that was shown by Mr. Jain was, I thought that was very comprehensive, very useful. High import duties, I would be happy to take up with my sister department, Department of Commerce, to identify specific lines where import duties could be reduced so that your input costs come down. In terms of differential rates of GST within certain HSN codes, that's another area where DPIIT will be happy to take it up with the GST Council. If there are obvious anomalies, that should be rectified. On the issue of certifications and obtaining international certifications, again, the Ministry of Commerce does have a scheme called I think it's called the Market Access Initiative. I don't know if any of you have had any luck in trying to access funds from that initiative, because that includes assistance for market research, for promotional activities, and for quality certifications. Maybe you could look at that scheme, and of course, if there are any issues there, we'll try and sort it out. I have not got any feedback today on the Sports Goods Export Promotion Council. Is there such an outfit available, and what is your experience with that council? Is it helping you promote it? Does it require some reform? Maybe you could give us some feedback on that. Do we have any quality control orders in this particular industry for some of your items? Because when we did this, a similar type of industry is the toy industry, and the toy industry really took off in India after we enhanced import tariffs for finished toys and we implemented a quality control order. So the tap almost got turned off for goods from China, and the domestic industry really has had a sustained boom thereafter. Some strategic initiatives of that type, a combination of some fiscal incentives. I think one of our colleagues was seeking some kind of a product-linked incentive of the kind that has been given for 14 other sectors. That's something we can look at, but that will take time, because right now the government is more interested in ensuring that the existing 14 PLI sectors really take off, reach maturity, and thereafter we can probably negotiate new PLIs, and at that stage we can certainly look at one for the sports goods industry, since I understand quite clearly that there is a lot of potential in terms of employment as well as exports as far as this sector is concerned. But is there a scope for a QCO here through our own BIS? that is something which perhaps you could give me a feedback subsequently. On the issue of nutraceuticals and having a uniform regulator of some kind and how we address that, we'll need to discuss it a bit more, because I've not really understood the details of who is currently regulating it. But if we are becoming a dumping ground, it is a matter of concern and we should take steps there. If tariffs are not feasible, or if there are issues of WTO compliance, then we should be looking at non-tariff barriers through regulations. And that is something that we'll be happy to look at in consultation with the concerned departments, which I assume is the FSSAI and the Ministry of Health. But we can look at that subsequently. Maybe you could give me a more details on how this could be done. That is broadly what I wanted to cover today. The issue of the RODTEP scheme, the remission of duties and taxes on exported products, where you've said that the percentage right now is a little low for you. It's only 1%, I think that was mentioned. That again is something that we could perhaps look at. Maybe you could give me a formal representation in that direction, and we'll take it up with the concerned sister department of ours, the Department of Commerce. I didn't get any feedback on startups in this sector, but I do understand that there are almost 1,000 plus startups which are currently active in the sports sector. I don't know what they do. A lot of them may be in the space of providing apps and things like that for sports persons to use. But I don't know if any of them are your members, but that's an area which gives a lot of dynamism to the Indian economy, and it'll be good to get some feedback on that as well. Broadly, that is what I wanted to cover today, but I look forward to, this cannot be a one-off. We need to engage as long as this subject, as a residual subject, stays with DPIIT. I have a personal sort of interest in ensuring that we support you and make you grow to the extent of the potential that we have, and we can engage further on this and try to bring about changes in some of those regulatory environment that we just spoke about. At a more long-term measure, we can also look at something like a PLI scheme. We are currently doing one, or trying to pilot one, for sports goods, sportswear in a sense through textiles, but also for leather and footwear, which includes sports footwear. But the appetite for a new one right now is limited, but maybe in the longer run, in the next year, we could try for that as well. Thank you very much for having me today, and look forward to engaging with you again in the future. Thank you.
R.K. Singh sir, it is such a pleasure. It's been your frank and open way of addressing the issues has been an absolute pleasure and refreshing, if I may say so, sir. And you truly are a sportsman at heart. So thank you so much for that. Anybody we would like to, before we break, I would request Neeraj ji to just conclude this, and then we can request Secretary Saab to join us for some.
So it was great.
Sorry, if I can just interrupt. I think Secretary Sir has asked us 3 specific things. I think there are members in the room, if we can respond to him. One was on Exports Promotion Council. Second was on QCOs through BIS in our sector like toys. And third, if there are startups in the room and they can share with the Secretary. Sir, I think we can use a few minutes, Vivek, if it's okay with you.
Yes, please.
So, sir, I was just taking up, it was very encouraging to hear from you, sir. And regarding the QCO, already there are 7 items which are coming under that. And the only point here is that we should have the pace should be seen, so that we're not shortchanging our sportsmen with the quality products, because as of now Just point in case that if we put on a thing like a table tennis ball, there is no manufacturer in India as of now. There were a couple of them, but they don't have any more. So we need to see that it shouldn't be a blanket order, and a time should be given, an adequate time frame, and then I think everything is possible. We can send the stuff to the moon. I think then we can achieve anything almost. So I think that shouldn't be a problem. So that's on the way. QCO is on the way. The second thing you said was about the market assistance fund from the SGPC. Yes, we do have that, but it was news to me that it was also applied to the certification also. So this is one area which certainly can be looked into, and if place can be made, some accommodation of funds can be done there for the manufacturer itself through the SGPC or through any agency, it will be a game changer for that, because the fund required are not much. I think in our last presentation we put the figure to about 5 crores or over a period of time say 20 crores if we extend it. But I think figures not that important, but the whole content and the idea where we want to go, and it will push many manufacturers to take those certifications that will help immensely in changing the whole paradigm shift of our image in the whole world. So. And regarding the startup, I think Rakesh ji will take it up, please.
Thank you so much, sir. I really don't know, in the space of tech, sports, startup, how different are we from any other tech company, right? I mean, if you look at financial technologies, if you look at food technology, or so many of the other tech companies, we also get categorized as one of those, which is actually not the case. It's a very, very different space to be. It's a very targeted effort when it comes to doing technologies in sport, and there are some extreme. I'm just talking on behalf of a lot of these, sports tech companies that I know. That I think to have, sir, a representation from that forum is something that will be important, and on behalf of Sportscom, I will take up that responsibility to actually go to some of the better ones out there, the top 25, the top 50 in the sports tech space, and be able to create some sort of a paper to make for you, sir. I will do that within, I think, 25 to 30 days from today. I will take up that responsibility personally, Jalaj Bhai, on behalf of Sportscom, and make that representation for sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
We have Naveen ji who would like to say something. Naveen ji, please come in.
Hello everyone. I've been listening everyone on the online call itself. So fantastic to listen to all of you all on this particular agenda on the industry part. So I represent Sports KPS, sir. I'm based out of Bangalore, and a lot of technology has been working on this particular sports domain as such. Most of them are in the field of, let's say, now the OTT platform which has come up into picture. Like there are a lot of sports which happens over there, and only the primary of the sports have been shown on TV, which you can see on Star Sports or Sony. But a lot of lower level end of sports can be seen on OTT platforms. So we've been doing a lot of broadcasting of those matches coming to the junior women's football. It could be in the kabaddi and the men, which can happen in that particular regard. A lot of work which has been doing in the ML and AI space with the machine learning and artificial intelligence in order to look at the performance of these athletes by tracking them with the computer vision as a tool itself. You don't need to have a hardware devices. You can do it with a lot of computer vision tools, which you need a lot of GPUs in order to run those particular algorithms and those kind of things, sir. And that's why we spend a lot of our money in terms of buying Amazon Cloud or Azure Cloud, where a lot of money has been spent in order to look at from the cloud utilization space out there. So there are a lot of work which has been done, majorly from the fantasy work, from the OTT platforms, and also from the performance analytics as such, sir. That's what the work has been going on. Again, it's more like a pyramid what we look at, but a lot of scope at the grassroots level and the semi-professional level is very important. And I would like to work with other people also to create that particular set of paper towards the sports startup in this particular domain, sir? Thank you.
Is there anything? Yes, there's a hand. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sushant, and I have a question related with these sports equipments and pricing control and quality control, sir. You know, I'm about to start my new venture, which is about a multiple sports academy and club, starting from Noida. But we have been organizing a lot of sports tournaments across India where we keep on, invite the dignitaries, where we invite diplomats to come and play at the same places, at different places, that is there. Now, the problem that we face at times are, of course, the equipments, the sports equipments. One, they are very expensive. Two, they are not Indians, they're not made in India. And then when we buy the Indian products, either we are being charged very much, but then when we buy it and then we go and play, the very next moment, it's broke. You know, the rackets gets broken or something is defaulted or it's defective. There's no pricing control, there's no quality control, and when we go back and we show it to the shopkeeper or even to the manufacturers, they say, "नहीं, हमारा तो ठीक था, आपने गलत तरीके से मारा होगा, खेला नहीं होगा, आपको खेलना नहीं आता." This is how generally we get these kind of things. So my problem is that a middle income family who wants to buy these kind of equipments, they actually, they hesitate in buying these equipments. One, because they do not know that whether it's a good product or not. Two, how would they differentiate that कि हमें ये लेना चाहिए कि नहीं लेना चाहिए, and then that's why they go for those expensive ones, and then we have less players in this thing in many sports for that reason.
Is there a particular question for Secretary,
sir? So the question, sir, is that about the pricing control and the quality control, sir. Who differentiates this? How can we keep a check on that? A common man for that matter.
So I think the question is probably more for the industry to sort of introspect on about quality. I mean, what you're really saying is that perhaps quality standards need to be more, more QCOs should be there across more and more of the product categories, so that whether it's import or domestic, it meets certain quality norms. That is something we can certainly work on, but on the overall aspect of whether quality is inadequate by some of the, some of the industry, that only the industry itself should really think about and answer.
Jalaj, sorry. Yes, please. No.
I think we spoke about, I'll just take 2 minutes. We spoke about the quality control orders, what we are coming in place. Essentially, those are something like an ISI mark, what you get. I think that's what we are putting in place along with the help of DPIIT. We are working on it seriously. There have been many meetings also. I'll just tell you, I'll brief you that most or many of the products which are sold, which are the top end, they are expensive because they have those certification costs on it. So that's what I'm coming to. Those are higher, and that's why that have to be added to the product costs. Whether be it the approval from IAFF, which is the things like javelin or discus throw or anything, but those are bigger costs, and the top end of the products are always we take the certification for those products, and that's why the prices of those get higher. So that's the whole idea, that if those costs can be shared, you can get the same quality what you will buy stamped as another company's product, and yet it will be the best product you can have. And those will be made in India, those are made in India, and if those are done, the product cost will come down, the player will benefit. What happens is that because he can't afford it, or you can't have 50 products of the same type, he will go for a cheaper product because the budget, of course, is the answer here. So I think it's not that the industry is not making, industry is making, and the results are that we are going from one place to the other. The exports are increasing, and so are the qualifications also for all these things. So I think with due time, everything will improve, and that's what we are here, that we discuss this issue, that how to bring the value to the whole game. And the whole idea is that in the same time, we don't shortchange the players, the community, and at the same time, it is profitable venture for the people who put in money there. That's the thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jalaj. Is there anything you would like to say before we...
No. Thank you.
So I think we've kept back Secretary from lunch for a long time. So now I request you all, on behalf of Sportscom, on behalf of the Secretariat, and on behalf of our entire membership, also CII is here, represented by Virender Gupta ji. On behalf of everybody, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of my president, who could not be here with us because of some very, very dire personal circumstances. I thank each one of you for taking this time, and especially Singh Saab for being so frank, open, and sharing with us. And now, there'll be a small felicitation, and then please, all of you, join us for lunch as well. Thank you.
What is your main product? So we make rugby balls, net balls, and we also make some of the molded items that we started making, and we also make sportswears. Sportswear? Yeah. These balls. Good. So recently the balls we have supplied have used as the Rugby World Cup balls. Oh, careful. France mein chal raha tha. So you have the certification? Yes. Careful, sir. From outside? Yeah, we go from our... Yeah.